Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My name is Ashley Smith. I'm from FEMA Region 2. I drove up here. I actually live in Long Island, so I want to thank you. First of all, we went out and did some assessments today, and the neighbors and the people that we were able to meet with, I want to thank you for your graciousness in inviting us into your home so we could get a better picture of what is going on here. So I'll be quick. I want to tell you a little bit about why we're here and the process going forward for you. So we had a team deployed to multiple counties. We're up here in coordination, actually at the request of the state, to support them to do preliminary damage assessments. So what that is we go out together and take a look like we did today around the Flats area and look at how high the flooding was. If it was in the basement, if it was on the first floor, what kind of damage you had, if there was structural damage. And as you know, many of you have been evacuated, so we weren't able to see everyone. We're looking at a day to come back. Again, this ongoing ring is kind of throwing a wrench in everything, as you well know. But we are getting that information to get that information ready to support a presidential declaration should there be one. I can tell you this afternoon that Governor Cuomo has put in a formal request for federal assistance. And what that means is that he believes that they do need the extra federal support, that the state's capacity to respond to this is overwhelmed, and I'm sure you guys feel like that too. So while we're here in a small team, once that federal declaration goes into place, we will be here in greater forces to help you deal one-on-one with your house cases. Now, I'm sure you've heard about the registration in prior disasters, or if you've been through that. Once the declaration is in place, you need to call and register. Some people have already called and registered and have gotten a registration number. If that's not our normal process, and it might just be because they are anticipating the declaration so soon, we are waiting for the president to sign off on it. But once we have that, if you did call in and get a registration number, I would ask that you call back in and just make sure that everything that did go active, that is in play. The other thing is if you have insurance, if you have homeowners, if you have flood insurance, whatever kind of insurance you have that might pay a claim to this, make sure, someone asked earlier, when can I have assessors come out? Make sure you get that done, and the sooner the better, because you have to have that process done, and then FEMA will come in and inspect and see what else you're eligible for. But they won't duplicate the payments, so if you get a letter back initially, when you don't have your insurance stuff squared away and it says you're ineligible, that's not correct. It's just that they have to have that insurance process finished first. So we got deployed up here rather quickly, but we will be sending some information. We have an after the flood brochure and some other information that can give you some other ideas on how to move forward. But again, we're waiting for that presidential declaration, and then we will come up, again, get your insurance done, and then apply, make sure you register for FEMA for anything else that you're eligible for. Yes, ma'am. The question was that she's a renter. Make sure that your landlord registers, and if you have any questions, there's called other needs assistance. So there's different things you might be eligible for too, so I would make sure that you both make it clear between the renter and landlord status, but I would definitely encourage you to call and get additional information. Yes, sir. Okay, the question. The question is, have funds been allocated by FEMA to take care of the individuals, or individual households? Is that what you're asking for? Families. The losses from each family. And that is a great question, but that is part of the declaration. So that's what that declaration means. Once the governor requests it, which he has, the next step is for the president to approve it. Once the president approves it, that means we come in and work directly with the state, and that opens that funding source, so to speak. As far as numbers, I haven't heard anything specific, so I don't want to speak to that. But I do know that the disaster relief fund is there to support, and that's where the money will be coming from. I have not heard any specific numbers, so I don't want to confirm or deny any numbers. If the president does not declare the need for federal assistance, then the federal government is prohibited from coming in and taking care of, or not taking care of, but assisting individuals and the public assistance. That's a great question. There are actually two sides that can be declared. It's public assistance, so that's buildings, anything. Well, there's individual assistance, which is households, which that's easier, and then there's public assistance, which is more public buildings and different things, schools, all of that. So there are two different things that disaster can be declared for. One, for public assistance, for IA, or for both of them.